So I went to medical school, and what they teach you is one thing and one thing only: how not to think. How not to think, how to stop thinking. You're not permitted to think. You're only permitted to follow protocols. Okay? Because you ask a doctor that something that falls, if they don't know why, then they say it's all in your head. And they put you on an antidepressant. Right? How many people with fibromyalgia were put on antidepressants? Right? Yeah. Right? Because in order to get 19 times more glucose. Now remember, if it just gets 19 times more glucose, that's going to allow it to stay up at the metabolic rate of all the other cells. But as we know, cancer likes to metabolize at a much faster rate. So it even needs more. But just to get up to baseline, it needs 19 times more. How does it do that? How is it going to get more glucose than the other cells? It does it by upregulating onto its surface more insulin receptors. So cancer cells have all these extra insulin receptors. In fact, you can do a biopsy of a tumor. You can measure the insulin receptor volume, and it happens to correlate with the stage of the cancer, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And it happens to correlate with the histology of the cancer, the differentiation, whether it's well differentiated, moderately differentiated, or poorly differentiated. And it also happens to correlate with nodal status. Are there any nodes involved? Lymph nodes involved. Now that all correlates with the insulin receptor volume. That's a very important thing. What do they do about this in oncology? They absolutely ignore it. Don't talk about it, don't mention it, forget it. I had this patient with a brain tumor who was getting radiated, and the radiation oncologist told them that they should buy a box of Snickers because it's much cheaper and they're going to be eating a lot of them. This is medical advice, which I think is malpractice. Okay, so now this cell that has no longer any mitochondria, it has lost its antioxidant enzymes, it's got all these extra insulin receptors, it now looks different. The nucleus is bigger, cytoplasm is smaller. So now when this brilliant pathologist looks under the microscope and he sees, aha, cancer. Because it has all the histological hallmarks of cancer. It's a thing. I see it. It's got this thing called cancer. No. What they forgot is that this is a process that the body is going through to say, had it not turned into cancer, the woman's breast would have turned black, become necrotic, she would have got septic and died. The prostate would have become necrotic, the bone marrow, whatever it is, would have become dead tissue. So the cancer dance was the body's extraordinary effort to keep you alive until you could wake up. Okay, so we don't say, damn that cancer. We say, hallelujah, thank God. I get your message. Remember, cancer is a tap on the shoulder by God, and he's saying, the path you're on is a little shorter than you'd like. Make a right-hand turn here. I want you to understand, if you ever get a diagnosis of cancer, that you have been anointed. Because if you do the right thing, the healthy thing, what will happen is you will become an inspiration to everyone around you. And you will change lives. And you will achieve your potential.